Welcome back. This is Luna. Thank you for joining me again today. I'm really happy to see you. I'll do my best to bring you a heartwarming moment, so please relax and enjoy. Day 116, a story of a small townscape. In the small town of Midway, surrounded by beautiful nature, the residents have built a heartwarming community. The town is filled with sprawling rural landscapes, a serene lake, and historic buildings, giving off a nostalgic atmosphere. Various people lived in Midway. Anna, who runs a cafe in the town centre, George, the local doctor Emily, a school teacher, and Jack, who runs a farm, each leading lives rooted in the town. They helped each other in their daily lives, sharing joys and sorrows. Anna's cafe, White Rose, was a place where townspeople gathered to relax. Every morning, the aroma of fresh coffee and freshly baked bread filled the air, attracting many people who would engage in lively conversations. Anna welcomed her customers with a kind smile, making everyone feel at home. George worked tirelessly at the town clinic to protect the health of the residents. He was a trusted doctor, always giving each patient careful attention no matter how busy he was. Emily took joy in teaching the children at school, watching them grow. Her classroom was always filled with smiles and laughter, making it a joyful place for the children to learn. Jack took pride in working on his vast farm, living in harmony with nature. His farm produced seasonal crops, providing the townspeople with fresh vegetables and fruits. Jack's farm was a vital part of the town, and his diligence and dedication were respected by many. Midway was a town of peaceful days, but one day, a letter arrived at Anna's cafe. It announced that a new resident would be moving to the town. The townspeople, curious about who this new resident might be, began preparing to welcome them. Life of the people. The day came when the new resident arrived in town. The townspeople, full of curiosity, were ready to welcome the new resident. The new resident was Lucas, a writer who had moved from the city. He chose Midway to escape the city's hustle and bustle and dedicate himself to his creative work in a quiet environment. On the day Lucas moved in, Anna held a welcome party at her cafe. The townspeople gathered to warmly welcome him. Though Lucas was initially nervous about the new environment, he gradually relaxed, touched by the residents' kindness. Anna served him homemade cake, and George and Emily also warmly talked with him. After the welcome party, Lucas returned to his new home, inspired by the town's tranquility. He strolled through the town daily, gathering new ideas and immersing himself in writing. Meanwhile, Emily was busy preparing for the new school term. A new student, Tom, had enrolled in her class, having recently moved from the city. Tom initially felt lost in the new environment, but with Emily's and his classmates' warm welcome, he gradually adapted. George continued his busy days at the clinic, working hard to protect the residents' health. One day, Jack visited him, having injured himself during farm work. George carefully treated his wounds and advised him not to overdo it on the farm. Meanwhile, Lucas visited Anna's cafe almost every day. He enjoyed the cafe's calm atmosphere, taking a break from writing. Anna and Lucas grew closer, and she began to support his writing activities. The townspeople led their lives while helping and supporting each other. Their lives were peaceful, but the small daily events and encounters deepened their bonds. Lucas, the new resident, was gradually accepted as one of them, and he came to love the town. Intersecting fates. As Lucas settled into his new life in Midway, he began to feel that something was missing despite his satisfaction with daily life. He was absorbed in writing his novel but struggled with a lack of inspiration. During this time, he met Lisa, who worked at the town library. Lisa, a librarian knowledgeable about the town's history and legends, was respected by the residents for her insights. Lucas became interested in her stories and started researching Midway's history. presence for his writing, joys and sorrows. One day, a significant change came to Midway. A plan to build a new factory on the town's outskirts was proposed. While this plan was expected to revitalize the town's economy, there were also concerns about its impact on the natural environment and the town's traditional atmosphere. The townspeople debated this plan, splitting into supporters and opponents, leading to intense disagreements. The supporters emphasized the employment opportunities and economic benefits the new factory would bring, while the opponents feared the loss of the town's natural environment and peaceful life. Lucas took an interest in this debate and attended the residents' meetings at the cafe. As an outsider, he initially tried to remain neutral but gradually became drawn into the passionate discussions. Anna, too, was troubled by the issue, feeling the cafe had become a place of division for the community. George, from his position as a doctor, was concerned about the environmental pollution from the factory affecting the residents' health. He supported the opponents, stressing the importance of protecting the town's environment. Emily, as a teacher, also took a stance against the factory to safeguard the children's future. Jack, on the other hand, supported the factory, expecting the economic benefits it would bring. Facing financial difficulties on his farm, he believed the new factory would inject new vitality into the region. He argued that the factory's construction would benefit the entire town. Amid the heated debate, Lucas consulted with Lisa and started researching the town's past cases and historical background. They discovered that similar situations had occurred in the past and believed they should learn from those experiences. With Lisa's help, Lucas shared these past lessons with the residents, urging them to discuss the issue calmly. As a result, the residents gathered again, creating a forum for exchanging ideas. Lucas served as a neutral moderator, and the meeting held at Anna's cafe became a valuable opportunity for the town to think about its future. Supporters and opponents respected each other's opinions and worked to find the best solution. In the end, the residents decided to hold a town vote on whether to proceed with the factory construction. Everyone understood the significance of this vote in determining the town's future. That night, Lucas, talking with Anna at the cafe, felt the strength of the town's unity and empathy. He felt he had found what he was truly seeking in coming to this town. Anna, too, felt a bond with him and looked forward to the town's future with hope, trials and growth. As the day of the town vote approached, Midway was enveloped in tension. The gap between supporters and opponents remained, with each side steadfast in their beliefs. However, thanks to the efforts of Lucas, Lisa, and Anna, opportunities for dialogue increased, and gradually, a movement toward mutual understanding began to emerge. One day, a special event was planned at Anna's cafe. It was to be a forum where residents could gather and freely exchange opinions about the town's future. Anna put her heart into preparing for the event, making the cafe a warm and welcoming place. On the day of the event, the townspeople gathered at the cafe, and a lively atmosphere spread. Lucas acted as a neutral moderator, while Lisa gave a presentation on the town's history. George and Emily also shared their perspectives, calling for residents to respect each other's opinions. Jack spoke candidly about his views, discussing the economic benefits the new factory would bring. He honestly shared the challenges his farm faced and sought understanding from the townspeople. His words were filled with sincerity and seriousness, and many listened intently. On the other hand, the opponents emphasized the importance of preserving the natural environment and traditional lifestyle, warning of the potential risks of factory construction. Their opinions were also taken seriously, and the debate heated up. Lucas found hope in the progress of the dialogue among the townspeople. He emphasized the importance of thinking about the town's future together and called for efforts to find a solution everyone could agree on. The event ended successfully, and the residents residents returned home with a deeper understanding and empathy. Anna, watching this scene, felt the power of the town's unity and was filled with joy, resonating hearts. As the day of the town vote approached, a sense of unity gradually grew among the townspeople. The successful event at Anna's cafe reminded them of the importance of dialogue, and the efforts to overcome differences of opinion continued. Lucas and Lisa continued to research the town's history and traditions, creating materials to share with the residents. They studied past successes and failures to provide insights for the current issues, helping residents make better choices. Emily, through her classes at school, taught the children the importance of environmental conservation and their responsibilities as community members. Her class learned to express their opinions and respect each other. Tom, under Emily's guidance, regained his confidence and began to actively participate in class activities. George continued his daily duties at the clinic, sharing information about the health risks of factory construction with the residents. He aimed to alleviate their fears and promote calm, science-based decisions. Jack, maintaining his support for the factory, continued to propose ways to ensure the town's future development. He emphasized the positive economic impact and new employment opportunities the factory would bring, contributing to the town's growth. The day of the town vote finally arrived. The townspeople went to the polls, carefully casting their votes. As they awaited the results, the town was enveloped in quiet tension, but the residents supported each other during this time. When the results were announced, the factory construction was approved by a narrow margin. The opponents were disappointed, but the supporters also pledged to continue working together to build the town's future, respecting the opponents' opinions. Lucas, observing the result, was impressed by the residents' efforts to understand each other and think about the future together. He decided to start writing a new novel based on his experiences in the town. Anna, too, was pleased with the deepened bonds among the townspeople and began planning new events at the cafe. New bonds. With the approval of the factory construction, new energy was born in Midway. The residents, both supporters and opponents, decided to cooperate to build the future together, and the town began to move forward as one. On Jack's farm, efforts to integrate new technologies for efficient production were underway. The resources and technology gained from the factory construction were expected to bring significant changes to the town's agriculture. Jack continued to seek ways to contribute to the town's development while staying true to his beliefs. Lucas, meanwhile, launched a project with Lisa to preserve the town's history and traditions. They collaborated with residents to protect cultural heritage and pass it on to future generations. Lucas's new novel, themed on the town's history and the bonds among its residents, touched many hearts. George continued his medical activities at the clinic, working to protect the residents' health while monitoring the factory's impact. He cooperated with the factory management to minimize environmental effects. George's efforts allowed the residents to live their new lives with peace of mind. Emily continued her educational activities at school, teaching the children the importance of town development and environmental conservation. Her class participated enthusiastically in programs that fostered a sense of responsibility as community members. Tom also showed leadership under Emily's guidance, becoming a role model in the class. Anna's cafe, White Rose, remained a central gathering place for the townspeople, where they exchanged ideas and enjoyed each other's company. Anna's warm hospitality continued to be a source of comfort for many. With the factory in operation, the town's economy gradually revitalized, creating many new jobs. The residents faced new challenges together, supporting each other along the way. They strived for sustainable development while minimizing the factory's impact. Hope for the future. Years passed, and Midway underwent significant transformation. Having overcome the debates and trials stronger bonds, succeeded in building a new future. The town's economy flourished, and the quality of life improved. Lucas published a new novel, gaining even more readers with its success. His work, depicting the bonds and history of the townspeople, moved many. He continued activities to preserve the town's history with Lisa, nurturing hope for the future. Anna's Cafe remained a vital place where residents gathered and interacted. She continued to create new menus and events, bringing smiles and comfort to those who visited. George kept up his medical activities, working to protect the residents' health and monitoring the factory's impact. His sincere approach earned the trust and respect of many. Emily continued her educational activities, teaching the children to care for the town's future. Her class eagerly participated in programs on nature conservation and community responsibility. Tom also demonstrated leadership, becoming a role model in the class. Jack continued his farm work, incorporating new technology for efficient production. He sought ways to develop his farm while collaborating with the factory, providing fresh produce to the residents. Midway achieved sustainable development through the efforts and cooperation of its residents. They supported and respected each other, paving the way for a new era. The future of the town was filled with hope, and the residents lived each day with this hope in their hearts. At the heart of the town, the Cafe White Rose continued to be a place where residents gathered, smiling and sharing their stories. As Anna watched this scene, she felt a sense of joy and anticipation for the town's future.